So we're starting a new series on Hubby and the Babe. This is not a vlog. We just released episode 1, which was My Spouse is Messy.
Raise your hand if you're the messy spouse.
I am a big podcast fan, and I had this vision for not just doing blogs with this channel, but doing something where Jackie and I do more of a discussion video where we talk about certain topics. So that's why we came up with Let's Be Adults. So this is episode 2 of Let's Be Adults. This one is No One Preps You for Your First Child.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about books, we're not talking about the doctors, like obviously like you can read,
But
there's
even then,
thousands of books out there, but
I feel like they just prep you for your doctors and the books just prep you for the general.
yeah.
Very checklist. Even then, my doctor didn't say anything to us.
No, not
she
really.
She just made sure everything looked fine, and then she's like, here's your baby. I think when we're referring to this topic, we're talking about just the general conversation you have with people. And I was telling David when we came up with this topic, I was like, what really stuck out to me was people always tell you the negative, and I get it. And they'll be like, oh, prepare to not sleep and prepare for spit up and dirty diapers. But it's how often, and really think, for those of you who have kids or are pregnant, how often do then people be like, it's the best thing ever though, you might not sleep, but it's they wake you up at 5 in the morning and you're dragging to get out of bed, but as soon as I open that door, Lucas is so excited to see me that I'm just all right, we're doing this.
I just remember when he came out and he was just so messy with all the, he was in the womb.
Yeah.
And they kept him like that for so long. In movies and commercials and stuff, you see the baby come out and they're clean. They kept him like that for hours and hours. He had chunks of stuff.
He wasn't so dirty, was he?
It's not that he was dirty. It's just I was just it's not like the movies.
The movies.
It's not
you're expecting a clean cut baby to come out.
The pamper commercials or the whatever life insurance commercials or whatever.
Or she's birthing a clean child out.
Yeah.
What is that?
But my immediate thing was I cried as well because it was super emotional just knowing that Lucas had arrived, but I was in a panic from the very beginning. First of all, he wouldn't stop crying from the get-go.
He wouldn't.
As soon as he came out, he was crying for a good half hour.
You guys, they talk about those babies that oh my gosh, my baby's they barely cry and they just sleep all the time. I have to wake them up because they sleep so much, and then they feed, and then they're just oh, I got so lucky. And I'm Lucas, did you miss that day at school or what?
I guess so.
Oh my gosh, and that's the same thing too. You see these movies or you see these shows and or even just on Instagram, it's total oh my baby, I carry them around, they sleep half the time, and I get so much done. That's not what happened.
That's not what happened with I feel we just got the short end of the stick with the not with Lucas, but with the circumstances.
Right.
And I think that's what made it so difficult.
Yeah.
He wasn't he wouldn't latch, so there was no breastfeeding. He was a catnapper. There was colic, there was tongue tie, there was lip tie.
Yeah.
And I'm saying all this still extremely grateful. There was no
right.
life-threatening thing.
Right.
But it was still, the day-to-day for the first 9 months.
I was at the gym the other day and I was sitting there working on my laptop and I saw this mom just walking, and I could hear from a distance a kid kind of screaming, and she just keeps walking to the door, and then I see her hold the door open, and the kid, I don't even know what he's saying because it's half crying, half screaming, half stomping his feet, and the kid had to have been 6. And so she's like, all right, cool, you're still doing your thing, I'm gonna go. So she starts like walking out. He's standing in the doorway holding the door open. He's like, I'm not leaving, I'm not leaving. And I'm sitting
Full-on
there
protest.
watching him, and there's another guy in front of me. And I'm just like, I feel good. Like, all you parents out there know, you're like, girl, I feel you, but I also feel like I'm not alone. Like sometimes you feel like, is it just my kid? In that moment when I saw this kid, I'm like, we're so eager for him to start talking that I'm like, maybe it's good that we don't say too many words right now. Like, throw your tantrum in your baby way. I'm waiting for the day where I'm like,
You're gonna
I
be
hate
slinging
you.
F-bombs.
Yeah. My mom always said, kids are, what did she say? I don't even know the exact words. I should have figured out because she's like, kids are a ball of surprises. I think that's what she says.
Yeah.
Because you just never know like what you're gonna get. Or even just like the things you have to get when you're having kids. Like we got so many unnecessary things for Lucas that now I look back
Like
and
what?
I'm like we literally had like a swing, a thing for him to lay on, another rocker, his crib, a play, like it literally was like.
Oh yeah, we had like a multi-directional swing. It would go this way, it would go this way, and then we had the rocker. Didn't like any of it.
No, we were in
Nope.
and out of Target like every other day. Like it took him a minute too for the swing.
You know what Papa did have to do though?
What?
On this very couch, man, he loved being like, I would like, it's like a weird like humping motion, but this is the only
Do you
way
wanna hold
he
me
could
and
fall
show
asleep
that?
sometimes. Like I would get such a burn in my thighs and my butt because I'm like,
Yeah,
all
no.
right, go to sleep.
David,
go
no,
to sleep.
David would like be so gentle. Like I remember even like first holding him, like he didn't know how to hold him. He'd be so stiff.
I would like mold my body into his body.
Like you look so awkward holding him.
To
But
the
he'd
point
literally be
where-
like, I got him. Why is he still crying? I'm like, cause you're not relaxed. Like, well, no, and then he'd be like so timid with him. And Lucas is like, he's hardcore. Like he needs you to rock him
He's
till like the
he's
rocking
rough.
chair is about to
Yeah.
like snap off. Like,
Yeah.
so I'd be like, you're too soft. And David would be like, okay. I'm like, harder, faster. And he's like, okay. And then finally, eventually, like one day he's just like going to town. And the kid then is like, but
Like I was too exhausted to go to the gym, but I was sweating sometimes, rocking that boy to sleep.
yeah. To
I'm
go
like,
to sleep
well,
for, like,
got my
20
workout
minutes.
today.
And
Yeah.
he'd be up.
Then he'd go to sleep then that's what a catnapper is.
Yeah.
He wouldn't nap for hours, not even 1 hour. We eventually got to it, but
So-
he would nap for like 20, 25 minutes, then be up.
But
And
here's
then-
the thing, like before Lucas, I had heard about kids that like sleep through the day and like you have to wake them up because they just sleep and then you got to feed them and put them back to bed. Heard about that. I heard about babies that had like switched schedules where like they'd be up mostly during the day and then
Reverse
they would or whatever
cycling,
it's called.
reverse cycle, I think.
And then they would sleep through the night. But I never knew of a Lucas.
Lucas.
This kid, my mom would be blown away. She's like, how has this kid been up for like 4 hours, like newborn? And I used to always say he had FOMO, like, cause I'm like, he's afraid to fall asleep. He's afraid of like missing out what's going on. And then the second he'd fall asleep, you literally had like 20 minutes before this kid would wake up again.
You need a
For
shower,
another like
you needed to
3 or
eat.
4 hours. I mean, you're eating in the shower. Like that's like multitasking. Like I'm telling you, I would literally, like, the beginning of it, I'd be like, okay, he went to bed. Yes, this is my time. Like, I hear all the time, this is your time to either take a nap, do your thing. And I remember one day, I'm like, I'm going to do some laundry. I think I made it to putting the clothes in the washer and putting the liquid in there, hitting start, and he was up. And I'm like, that was my free time. Like putting a load of laundry into
Yeah.
like the. So it's like David finally like he researches everything and he's like, Lucas is a catnapper.
He's a catnapper.
I'm like, I'm allergic to cats, so this cannot be good. This cannot be good. I just was going crazy because I did not have my time. Because when he was up, I had to be there with him. When he'd sleep, most of the time he had to be on me. So it's like things that you go through, I guess, is what like people can't prep you for. With Lucas being tongue tie and lip tie, both sides of our family never dealt with something like that. So everybody was like deer in the headlights. And obviously Lucas being our first, we were deer in the headlights too, because we just were assuming all the steps we were going through were somewhat of like things, obstacles you'll go through, but like both our parents were like, no, like he should be doing this, like he should be eating by now, like solids. And I think that was the biggest like hiccup. What was the biggest thing for you that like you didn't expect?
You just talked about it right before this. It's like I still don't have it. Like personal time is just I was assuming, I'm like, well, he's gonna become a little more independent. Like he does nap longer now.
You always wish for more. Like,
yeah.
Why is your nap only for 2 hours? Like,
but I mean, like, I'm even grateful that our gym has daycare.
Yes.
Some of you, they're like, what? Your gym has daycare? I know.
You guys.
I've been to those gyms. Most gyms do not have daycares.
If you go to a gym that has a childcare, I learned this from when I worked at a gym. Find out how long your child is allowed to be there per day. So ours, for example, is 2 hours. I will take him almost every, like Monday through Friday. And even if I only go work out for like 30 or 40 minutes, I take the rest of the time, like I'll take my laptop with me and they have a cafe area and I'll like edit videos or I'll try and like work on some stuff. And I'm telling you, like, even if you just go like sit in the locker room for like 30 minutes, like you're paying for them to watch your child, like take advantage of it. Like it just helps me just to like get away, and like I trust the people at the gym and stuff, and he loves going too. So just also like to touch the topic of that, like find ways to still have you time, and like we have my mom watch Lucas, so then we can have like some us time, and then we try and go out, the three of us too. So it's one of those things where I think you also said a really good thing while we were talking about this earlier, why people don't prep you.
Well, I think the whole reason that you don't get prep for this, and Jackie kind of touched on the topic too, is like from her experience with working at the daycare, everyone has a different child.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so hard. Like you can give your advice to a soon-to-be parent, but you don't know what they're gonna get.
Yeah, it's very true.
And you only have your own experiences.
No, I agree 100%.
Even after like a hard day at work, just coming home, like most days I can at least see him in the morning, or right when I get home from work, he's like getting ready to go to sleep. And on those days where I get to see him at night, just like I'll come home exhausted from work, like not want to do anything, and just now he's like, I open the door, he sees me, I see the smile, and then he just runs and gives me that big hug.
The cutest thing though too is he gives kisses now, and I think that's the sweetest thing ever. So he'll give us kisses before he goes to bed, and I just think that's so sweet. So
it is, yeah.
The thing at the end of the day is, no matter what people tell you to expect, the best thing of it all is just, it's the best thing ever to be a parent, I think.
And like everyone says, it's the toughest thing, but it's the best thing.
The most rewarding thing, I think. I think we've kind of touched on
I feel like this is a good vent session.
The expected, unexpected. I know. I always feel like these might be some good like therapy sessions, like free therapy.
Free therapy for ourselves.
You know, I gave you a break this time. I thought we'd talk about a topic that we could talk about together and not just like point fingers at somebody. So.
But you know what I'd hope though, is that like for the parents watching, be like, yeah, you're right, and then you're like talking to us,
yes,
and venting yourself.
Yes, I'm sure there's moms that are like, I was in the closet, you know,
you're
and
like,
yes, give me my moment. Dave would come home and I'd be like, I'll see you in a second, and I would literally just go in there, shut the door, and I'd be like, I mean, sometimes I'd cry too, but I'm just an emotional person. We hope you guys enjoyed this video.
This is a wrap on episode 2 of Let's Be Adults.
And we're trying to be adults over here. So if you
Trying.
enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, like it, and most importantly, you guys subscribe.
Hit that button. If you have not watched Hubby and the Babe, just look through these. What side is it on? I think it's probably going to be on this side, maybe. Wherever the other
Just
videos
look
are,
on our channel.
there are vlogs that we go through. Check those out.
And we will catch you guys with the next topic. No?
I don't like that.
Okay. Of course, because it has to be what you want to do. So
Yeah.
you go ahead. That should be our next topic.
Hey, I was with Lucas all day today.
Yeah, he'll come home and be like, oh, what were you doing all day while I was here with Lucas? Keep in mind, he just got home. Like, seriously. Anyways, you go ahead and wrap it up then.
No, go for it. It's okay.
No, you didn't like
No,
it.
you
I
did
don't want to
fine.
have to do it over again and
You
again.
did fine. I was just messing with you because you didn't seem sure about it.
Okay. I don't even, what did I say?
I don't even remember.
All right. Well,
Well, click end of the video.
we hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.